Alright everyone, today's video is about your Palico in Monster Hunter World, for the sole reason that I myself, and I feel many other players, especially those new to the Monster Hunter universe, are not properly utilizing their Palico, which can be extremely valuable to you in a lot of different ways. The first and most basic thing to keep track of is your Palico's equipment. Now, I do recommend crafting multiple sets of Palico weapons and armor and changing them out based on the monster that you're fighting. As you can see here, I have an ice element weapon, I also have a dragon element weapon, and there are a lot of other choices available. Palico equipment is also extremely cheap, and unlike player armor or player weaponry, it does not require a ton of monster materials to craft. It only requires one in most circumstances. So you should get some research points, that's the other element of Palico equipment, and craft the best tier of weaponry and armor that you can, and also craft multiple of them so that you can switch them up based on the monster that you are fighting. If a monster is weak to fire, you can craft a fire mace and equip that on your Palico to boost their efficiency in the fight. Likewise, if it's weak to ice, you can craft an ice blade, and so on and so forth, and it really hardly costs you a thing. To change your Palico's equipment, simply go into your house located in this door, then walk over to your Palico and you can change their equipment from here, as well as a couple of other options. Now, there are other places where you can alter your Palico's equipment and change the loadout, but this is just a simple one for those that were wondering and weren't aware of this at all. The second important thing to know about Palicos is their use of gadgets, and as you can see, I have two, which is not very many. There are many more in the game. I have the Vigor Wasp Spray, and I have the Coral Orchestra. Now, I will use Vigor Wasp Spray for the purpose of this example. Having the Vigor Wasp gadget equipped, and it is the base gadget that comes with every Palico right from the beginning, so everyone will have access to this one, will allow your Palico to periodically place a Vigor Wasp which can heal you when triggered on the ground. It also, if you are in a dire situation, can bring you a Vigor Wasp and heal you directly while you're dodging around in a monster fight. However, what a lot of players do not know is that over the course of leveling up the gadget to rank 10, you gain access to two manual triggers that do the same thing. These have an infinite amount and a very short cooldown duration. If I need to, I can use the Vigor Wasp station, and my Palico will put down a Vigor Wasp when I trigger it from my item bar. Likewise, in a fight, once the gadget is leveled up high enough, I can trigger Vigor Wasp Delivery by my own manual cooldown and trigger, and he will bring me a Vigor Wasp similar to the way a potion would heal you, even though it is instantaneous, and you can sometimes go through entire monster fights without ever using a potion, because this does have a fairly low cooldown, can be used multiple times in an infinite amount, and has a decent amount of healing attached to it. Palico gadgets do go through a leveling process up to level 10, and when you first acquire them, they will be level 0, and thus you won't have access to both of the abilities on the manually triggered ability bar. However, it is worth it to level them up. Side note, they do gain experience from any investigation, hunt, or monster encounter overall, so just play the game as normal, and over time, your Palico gadget will level up. On this character, I only have the Vigor Wasp Spray, which is level 10, and then the Coral Orchestra, which is level 2, and I need to level that up much further in order to have those manually triggered abilities. The Coral Orchestra will buff your character significantly multiple times over the duration of a fight, sometimes increasing your affinity, sometimes increasing your defense. There's a lot of different things that it can do, and it is a very strong gadget. However, there are a multitude of other ones. There's one that increases your farming potential by cutting off pieces of the monster. There's a lot of different gadgets, and I will post a video soon in depth on how to acquire each and every single one of them. The third thing to know about Palicos is their use of the Taming ability on various smaller monsters. As you can see, this Shamos, or however the name is, has been tamed by my Palico, who will now ride the monster and deal increased damage and have better utility in the fight. He'll be able to jump around and be more mobile, and it's overall just a really good thing to have. Any small monster in the area can be tamed once you've done the right quests. There are a lot of different quests available. As you can see, he's dropping materials, and your Palico can be extremely useful while riding a monster. And there's a lot of different quests. There's one in the Ancient Forest, there's one in the Coral Highlands, there's one in the Rotten Vale, there's one in each different area, and again, I'll be doing an in-depth guide on which quests you need to do in order to get your Palico to be able to ride each type of small monster in the future. And let me know if there's interest in that down below. But Doing all of the side quests is a very important thing in Monster Hunter World, so that your Palico can be used to its full potential. The gadgets and the skills are two among many other reasons why I highly recommend that you do not simply face mash all the way through the campaign as fast as possible. Instead, go to the optional quests, explore all the different maps, and do as many side activities as you can, because over time you will unlock new and powerful items, new and powerful skills for your Palico and yourself, and it will be overall just a better Monster Hunter experience. That's going to wrap it up for this guide pretty much. Like I said, there will be a much more in-depth and specific guide on which quests exactly you need to do in order to unlock the ability to tame and ride different monsters, and how to and where to acquire all of the different powerful Palico gadgets. That will be coming in the near future. I just haven't had time as of yet. Let me know in the comments down below if you like the content, what specifically you'd like to see me cover next, whether it be builds, different beginner's guides, different segments of information on elemental damage, different armor sets, etc., etc. I will try and incorporate as much of that feedback as possible. Also, check out the other links, the Upper Echelon website, a great community there, the Facebook group, and a lot of different avenues. I also live stream this game very frequently. There's a Twitch link down below. And consider supporting on Patreon if you really like to support what I do here and would like to see more of this content produced. YouTube is not that reliable as of late, and it'd be great to have an alternative and more reliable source of revenue for projects to expand Upper Echelon. As always, thank you for watching, and have a nice night.